Hey guys, this is Paul with convertingcopy.com, and today we're going to talk about 6 white hat SEO tactics for you to try. Now, why white hat SEO? This is as opposed to black or gray hat, which are generally a little more frowned upon and can get you punished by Google and other search engines. Because, methods like black hat search engine optimization involve tactics and techniques to kind of game the system and try to trick Google, basically, to making your content seem like it's better than it is, or more popular, or more optimized than it is or should be, or something along those lines. So basically, like an example, like an old example, an antiquated example would be keyword stuffing in the case of black hat SEO, or just loading up your page with the same keyword in hopes that Google will see that and assume that your content is all about that word and consequently rank you well for that keyword. But that is an old example that doesn't work at all anymore. But there are much more effective techniques to use when it comes to black and gray hat SEO. But those techniques can get you in trouble, if not now, then somewhere down the road. And it could erase effectively all the progress that you've made in that time. So really, generally, it's best to just stick to white hat SEO as much as possible, and that's why we're going to talk about that today with 6 tactics you can try, which are all clean and approved by Google without them explicitly saying it. So first, we're going to talk about keyword usage. This is just basic search engine optimization, and it's really just entails using your keywords effectively in your content, whether that's a video or whether that's an image or whether that's just text on your screen, on your blog. So check out my tips for keyword usage, my keyword SEO post, to learn all about that, and avoid keyword stuffing, since I mentioned that earlier. That does relate to keyword usage. So do your keyword research well and use them effectively in your content, and that's just a great way to get started and help Google identify what your content is about. Secondly, we have guest blogging. Guest blogging is really up and coming these days. A lot of people are doing it because it's kind of a win-win for everyone. Someone from one blog goes and approaches another blogger to see if they can make a guest post on their blog. So the blogger that you're going to write the guest post on their blog, they get free content for their site, basically. They don't have to make it themselves, quality content. And you get probably a link back to your site and your content in front of a whole new audience. So it's a great way to network, and it's a great way to pick up some links and some new traffic to your site. So mutually beneficial. And we're going to move on to natural inbound links. This is number 3. This is always the goal in search engine optimization. It's always the goal in trying to please Google, because Google sees inbound links as being a vote of confidence and quality from another webmaster. So when I say natural, I mean links that you did not create yourself, basically. So I'm not talking about going to like an article directory and just creating an article that you've written yourself with a link back to your site. That's fine, but it's not going to come off as being nearly as impressive as if another webmaster links to you of their own will, because that says to Google that your content is worth ranking well on its own because other people are doing this on their own, and you don't need to be ranking your own site or trying to optimize your own site in this way yourself. So it's nice to have third-party thumbs up on your content, and that's what natural inbound links are all about. So, and the best way to do that is just to create quality content, which is number 4. This refers to regularly updated content. So Google loves it when your blog has, multiple updates a week, but it doesn't matter so much that you have these updates frequently, just that you keep pretty much a steady update schedule. So you don't want to, have one new blog post one month and then have maybe 20 the next month and then go back to 1 or 2 the next month. So basically, you just want to be consistent. So if you have 20 posts, spread them out over, whatever works best for you, but keep it consistent, and your readers will appreciate that too, obviously, and that will keep them coming back. So quality content also refers to link bait, things that, I guess, content that you can create that pretty much makes and wants and attracts other webmasters to linking to your content. So that's all that link bait really is. It's just something unique, generally, that you create yourself that other webmasters are going to link to because it's good content, for one, and two, possibly they can't get it themselves or find it elsewhere. So move on to interior links. This one's pretty easy to do, especially if you have an established blog which has been around for a while with a good bit of content on it. Interior links just refers to linking to your own content from your site. So if I have another post on search engine optimization, I can link to it. As you can see in the corresponding post to this video, I have a lot of interior links which encourage people to spend more time on my site, and that lowers bounce rate and things like that. So this is all good in pleasing Google, and it just looks better. So they take all these things into consideration when they're ranking your site, albeit these are smaller. This in particular is a smaller factor, but still an important factor nonetheless. And like I said, it encourages people to spend more time on your site, spreads link juice, just a good thing to do. So finally, we have blog commenting. So blog commenting can go either way. It can be considered black hat, gray hat, or white hat, depending on how you use it. If you're just spamming a lot of blogs with comments that are unrelated to what they're posting about, with just, for the sole purpose of getting a link back to your site, that's considered, gray hat, borderline black hat. And in the recent kind of updates, I guess Penguin specifically, Google has taken a look at these kind of links and diminished their quality a little bit, and over-optimization comes into play that way too. So you don't want to be using your keyword constantly when you're creating your own links to your site. It looks a lot more natural to kind of come up with generic link text, anchor text, and just using your own URL when you're going back to your site. So I'm getting off topic a little bit with that, but basically you can use blog commenting as a very powerful white hat SEO tactic if you use it correctly. So just check out this post I did on getting 200 daily unique visitors through blog commenting to kind of learn more about that, and just check out this post as well on how to blog comment successfully to get the most out of it and get the traffic and the links that you want coming back to your site. So White Hat SEO still works very well. It's the only evergreen SEO, hat shade that we can use consistently before Google, shuts it down, because you have gray and black hat techniques, which are always going to be suspect and targeted eventually, and eventually will be taken down. So if you want to stick with what works and don't want to have to worry about possible fallout from borderline shady SEO practices in the future, stick to white hat and stick to some of these techniques and other techniques I talk about on my site. So thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you next time.